watching the news is quite clearly great for your mental health. If you were to skip like 99.9% of everything that you are fed, okay? So please don't go and watch the news today. It's horrific. So this video is about how do you deal with the anxiety or the worry or the fear of the world that watching too much of the news can definitely give you, whether you want to admit it or not. Okay. So one really good technique is this breathing technique, which activates a part of the central nervous system called the parasympathetic nervous system, which is essentially the nervous system bit that like slows everything down. Like the physiological effects, so the effects of the body, um, it actually definitely decreases blood pressure. So if you're in an so you, if you remember this for like if you're in a need to like really quickly decrease your blood pressure, like pregnant ladies or anything like that, where you're going through like a spike, and then also brings down your heart rate, and this can bring feelings of like having some sort of control again, like if you start to hyperventilate or whatever. And essentially, what you need to do is breathe out for longer than you're breathing in for, well, as kind of as long as you want, but like roughly a minute. So what I would do is breathe in for 3 seconds and out for five, and eventually, this like will eventually start to calm you down. And if you're stressed about the world, just going outside in nature and doing this breathing technique, it can actually really benefit you. Secondly, a thing that you can do is just be in the moment. I know that sounds really like cliche and all that kind of stuff, but if you're worried about, let's say, if you look at that recent attack that's just gone on in FSU, and you're worried about like someone like because it's like it's almost an act of terrorism, and it's called terrorism for a reason because it's made to make you feel unsafe in your life, and make you feel like there's a looming threat just around the corner everywhere you go. So one thing you can do is just be in the moment and think, um, you know, I'm you're in your house, you're with your family, you're with your friends, you're at a cinema, you're somewhere safe. Just be in the moment and think like right here and now, everything is all good. Okay. And if you think about the chances of a surprise, something bad happening to you right now, like there's always a chance that a meteor is going to fall on your head or something like that. There's always a chance something's going to go wrong. But don't start thinking about that because that will make you more anxious and spiral out of control. But if you just think about where you are right here, right now, is the only thing that really matters, and then just have faith that everything's going to be okay. Because faith really does help whilst being in the moment. So what you got to do is you got to bring yourself down through the breathing technique, so your body isn't like doesn't have like a low level cortisol stress that can make you feel stressed. Drink loads of water. Bit of exercise can actually, it's essentially like you can essentially burn off the cortisol with exercise, because the exercise, that's just what you meant to how you meant to naturally get rid of cortisol is to run away. So the reason why you would produce cortisol is if there's a threat like a lion or another human coming after you, for example, you're meant to run away from that thing if you're scared, and that gets rid of the cortisol. But if you don't do any exercise, you've just got it building up in you, and this can lead to like long-term health problems like heart attacks and stuff. So go for a nice walk somewhere in, if it's a nice day, it's even better. Somewhere, if you've got like a local wood, forest, if you've got like a river with noise, just go near that, do some breathing techniques, come back and try and live in the moment, and just be aware that where you are right now is safe. Okay. And another thing that you can do to bring yourself down from the anxiety of the world, is a sauna, hitting the sauna. So the sauna has so many benefits, um, physiological and like spiritual or mental or however you'd want to call it. So the mental or spiritual side of things is just simply the fact that you're away from the screen and you're alone with your own thoughts. So you can deal with things and you can face it and you can metabolize your thoughts by processing it in your mind. And also, while you're in the sauna, you can try and meditate as well, which meditation, for those who don't know, the simple version, because there's loads of different types of meditation, is essentially try to think of nothing for as long as you can, if that makes any sense. Try and clear your head, and you'll notice there'll be things that are trying to come into your head that your subconscious wants you to consciously confront. Now, there's going to be things popping up. The thing that you probably shouldn't do is fight it. If you have something, this is what I mean by metabolizing it. If something pops up, just try and acknowledge it. And if you want to think about it and try and sort it, you can do. Or if you can choose to try and keep your like mind space empty for a little bit. And what this does, it's almost like a relaxation, like and then your body can, or your brain can just have that little bit of respite, and it makes things feel a bit lighter. It's like, imagine if you're constantly lifting, like if anyone's got a baby or a kid, you'll know that if you're holding a baby all day, then your back goes, or if you're holding a bag on the way to walk somewhere, your hand gets wrecked. And that's what, if you don't meditate for long enough and you got all this stuff in your mind, you're essentially holding a weight without popping it down. Now, if you meditate, it's like just popping that weight down for a little bit and giving yourself a little bit of time to recover. So then, when you lift that weight up again, you feel a bit stronger to be able to do so. So now you can do this in the sauna, and it's really quite beneficial. But alongside this like spiritual aspect of it, you got the physiological side of it as well. So like you're gonna release heat shock protein, which is the thing that makes you want to leave the sauna when you're in the sauna is the heat shock protein doing its thing, and it's causing like an acute stress on the body. So now, if you can live with that uncomfortable feeling for maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes is like a good time of 80 degrees. But if you can't do that, it doesn't matter. But if you can live with that uncomfortable feeling for a little bit, when you get out, your body's going to be like flushed with endorphins, and you almost feel like you've been smoking weed or something, because you come out and you feel like high, relaxed, just lay down on a nice deck chair or something like that, and then you just feel like it's de-stressed. So that's another way. Like if you were to combine all these three methods, like going into nature, breathing, going for a sauna, and then meditating for a little bit. Sorry, I think the cats have just knocked something over. So, and just getting that time away, from all the negative stuff in the world can really, really help you, just get back to that normal level to be able to deal with everything in your day-to-day life.